Hello, my name's Ray Care. I'm back at the Rocky Oaks Canoe and Kayak Model Shop. We've been busy over the summer perfecting all the pieces for the newest kit, the 48-inch stitch and glue plywood kayak model. This one is very cool, very easy to make. It's going to be inexpensive. It's going to be light to ship. The box is going to be small, so shipping should be quite a bit less than the other ones. And you can get some pretty impressive results in a short period of time. This model is taking about a third or even less than that time compared to the wood strip models. And it can be painted, it can be varnished, it can be finished out in a number of ways. It comes with this new webbing with the fake buckles. This supposed to be an elastic cord, and these pre-molded seats that you can paint any color you want, and the same combing that came with the other kit, which is the wood strip 48-inch model, which has been very popular. A lot of people have built them. I've got a lot of pictures that people have sent in, and it's still probably about half of all the models that I sell being the kayak. So I think this one's going to be a hit, and we're offering promotions right now. I'm not sure till when. So this is the first video on it, and we're going to roll up our sleeves, and I'm going to build a kit right now and show you how easy it is and how fast it can go together. So let's get started. Okay, so it's going to come with the 6 panels. We have the 2 side panels, the 2 top panels, the decks, and then the 2 bottom panels. And there's going to be 4 small bulkheads that you're going to glue in place. There's going to be a small packet with the lacing and the different little brads and all that for the finish. The seats, which are molded seats, you can carve them, you can paint them any color you want. And the piece of flexible combing material that you soak and bend around in the combing. There's going to be the instruction manual with a template and a couple of hatch cover pieces, be similar to this. So and we're going to cut some small sections of the wire, about 1.25 inches long, and we're going to thread that through the other piece, through the panels. To drill a couple of very small 1/16 inch holes. Every 8 inches, as close to the edge as we can. Put the panels on top of each other. Okay, we clinched the panels together. It's a nice tight fit. Now we're going to take the side panels, we're going to match up the edge and put a mark on both panels in the same area that your other wire was at. Work this around so that we know the edge is going to be the same, and it should match up to the end. We'll do it from the bow. Okay, I'm going to use a hot glue gun to put the frames in. Now that we have that edge secured with 5 pieces of copper, we're going to put number 1 frame in, making sure that the edges are all lined up, and we're going to put it in place. I have 1 and 2 glued in place. Going to do 3. I've glued all the bulkheads in place. So far it's quite rigid. One mistake I did make that I need to mention is where these 2 panels meet, I should have planed this down or carved it down a little more, so this was a little tighter fit once you glue it. It's hardly noticeable the way it is, but this is, you can see that this is all nice and tight already, and I haven't glued it yet. But we're going to put the side panels on now using the same method. I'm going to take the edge off of the bottom of the side panel so it's at an angle so that it fits a little tighter on. We're going to bend the wire into a little U-shaped, and we're going to push that through and just fold the copper wire over, move on to the next one, and the boat will start to take some shape. Once again, I'm going to put a bevel on this edge, the bottom edge of this panel. Now I have both panels put in place with the wire. Everything seems to fit pretty good, but we'll tighten things up as we do the gluing. For the ends, it's a good idea to put a taper on these panels on the ends. It doesn't have to be much, so that they fit tightly together. For this stern section here, I used the CA medium stick fast glue only because it takes a little longer for it to set, and it gave me more time to get the clamps on. And I only glued the very point part of it and a little bit of the other seam. So the glue on the bow and the stern has dried, and now I'm going to remove the copper stitches. Okay, I have found that really the best way is to glue this edge here, clamp it as you go, and then we can proceed over to this part and get it completely glued. Keep in mind keeping it centered. There is an overhang, and we're going to trim that overhang afterwards. We're going to take this other deck panel, and I should have mentioned it earlier, but we should take and put a slight bevel to this edge so that because there's an angle on the deck, they'll match up tighter, and it also makes it easier to fit tighter. So we're going to take that and put it down, and I can see that it's a pretty tight fit. Okay, I used masking tape to pull the deck pieces tight. Okay, I removed the tape, cleaned it up a little bit. Now I'm going to trim all this excess off, and in my case I'm going to use the band saw, but you can use a saber saw, maybe go upside down with it so you can see the blades, being careful not to nick the sides. Now I'm going to use this little hobby plane that I use all the time, and I'm going to clean up the edge, get it as close as I can, and then we'll sand it with a sandpaper, being careful not to go into the veneer. I'm going to go pretty much almost in the center. We know we have 2 frames, so we're going to mark it and then carefully cut it out with a fine saber saw blade. Smooth out the edges. So it's a nice clean. In the meantime, I've had the combing material that comes with the kit. I've had it soaking in some water for about a half hour. Sometimes it might take longer, but it's generally 20 minutes, half hour, but the longer, the better. Just make sure to wipe it off and find the center, and we're gonna carefully, if you bend too fast, you possibly could break it. Okay, I've got it all fitted in place with clamps to hold it. Sanding after the first coat of polyurethane. This particular model I stained first with just a wood teak stain, I think it was, and that evened out all the bare spots and stuff. Came out actually quite nice. This is another one that I was building at the same time. Okay, well here we are after 5 coats of polyurethane sanded in between the coats, and it could still actually use a couple of more. What I didn't use that would be very helpful is a sanding sealer first. That really would have speeded up the whole build-up process of the finish. But I'm still pleased with this. You could actually give it another couple of more and sand with 220 in between the coats and get it a little bit glossier and smoother. But I'm going to go with this for now, and I'm getting ready to glue in the seats. The seats will come in 2 pieces. They're actually plaster Paris that's been baked in the oven, and you have to clean them up and scrape them down and shape them a little bit. And then I just went and painted them with a black latex paint, but you can use any color you want. These are going to get, they're going to go inside the cockpit here, and I did paint inside the cockpit just to make it look nicer. Okay. That comes with the kit, and you cut it into small piece, and after you measured all your strings, put the 2 ends together. Well, there it is. I put the little turnbuckles glued on top. Very simple, goes together quickly. Put the little toe strap on the in the bow, just drill a hole through, use a little piece of the shrink tubing, and makes a little realistic toe strap. It would be nice to have a little decal lacquered on this, but there's all kinds of things that could be done to make it even more unique. But there it is, and I'm going to make the same version in a 6-foot model, which will be even more realistic, which will have its own rudder and maybe a few other things. So send in pictures of your finished model and we'll compare them and we'll put them on the customer gallery.